Good morning. Welcome to healthierlife.tv. My name's Paul Bursey. My co-presenter is...
Good afternoon, everybody. It's Warren Connolly here, coming to you from a cloudy Santander in Hungary.
Well, I'm in UK. That's good enough.
Somewhere.
Anyway, today's healthierlife.tv headline is Mindset, the Ultimate Health Game Changer. So it's going to be a quickie today because I'm going to whiz through this hopefully in 20 minutes because we've done a few long ones recently, so I wanted to do a short one. So anyway, for me, mindset's everything and covers all aspects of health. Because if you don't get the mindset right, nothing else will follow. That's just my opinion. I don't know how you feel about that, Warren.
Well, we could end right there. That'll be real quickie. Yeah, under 1 minute.
Well, the way we think can completely transform our health.
Sure.
Also our wellness and obviously eating habits, because that's what this is all about, really. We should be seeking the right answers. Would you agree with that?
Again, yes, definitely. It's asking the right questions to seek the right answers, though.
Absolutely. Or doing research.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it doesn't have to be you're asking questions to an individual. You could be asking Google. It could be asking anything. And gradually, I don't go 100% on Google, but you understand what I'm saying. There are answers out there. And we have to be open to new ways of doing things.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Because, Warren will come up with something that I've not heard of. So I'm open to listening to Warren to see if that can work for me.
Yes. And I was actually just having this conversation with a client this morning, and she's not a wellness client of mine.
Yeah.
I do English coaching with her, and we're having the same conversation, but relating to health and wellness.
Really?
Yeah. And she was under the impression that what a dietitian or nutritionist says is set in stone. And I'm like, to a point, but it's not exactly the same thing. I said it's you have to be flexible. You have to be open to different perspectives, because you're dealing with your body here. So each person's body is unique, and so is the mind. Each of us have a unique mindset, right? So we may come from the same social background, we may come from the same country, history, all of these things, but we all individually have a different mindset about how we see the world around us, and that is key to making changes in your own life.
Absolutely. And maybe sometimes we need a bit of a helping hand. And we know we can ask people, we know we can research, but also we've got a bigger asset in our toolkit, and that is our $1 billion brain.
$1 billion brain.
Yeah.
Galactic brain, I like to call it.
I know that some of you might go down to $1 millionaire brain. I'm only joking. But it's worth, not worthless. Sorry, I was going to say worthless. It's it's worth its weight in gold. It really is. Your
and
brain.
Then some. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And we all have the answers within us. It's about again, it goes back to asking the right question. So whether we're asking ourselves the right question or whether we're asking somebody else the right question, that's what it boils down to, right? If you're wanting to look for the answers.
Absolutely. If you don't want to look for the answers, you're probably in the wrong place. Yeah. But look, what we need to do is put an end. This is just one thing. We need to put an end to mindless snacking. We need to change the way we think about the foods we eat. And snacking seems to be a big problem. It's one of those problems anyway. Now, the first goal is to take our healthy eating habits to the next level. Now, for some people, that won't be too difficult. And I know people personally that it won't be too difficult. For some of us, it gets a little bit more, a little bit harder each time for us to move. But we are going to do it. It depends how healthy you are at the end of the day. It depends on how much you value your health, because not everybody values it.
Sure.
Not until they're really in trouble. I wanted to do it early enough so that I wasn't in trouble, and to enjoy life a little bit, less aches and pains and different things like that. So it depends on who you are. So that's the first goal, to take our healthy eating habits to the next level. Okay, would you agree with that?
Of course, and also, as you say, for some people, look, some people they start on a journey, they get eating healthy and all of that, and it starts to become part of who they are. But because of this, they fall off the wagon, and then the excuses start to come up, all this kind of stuff, and then it's not easy for them to get back onto the horse again and get going again on their journey. But for other people like myself, for example, where you can cut and dry, you can enjoy yourself, and then you decide that's it, no more, stop, finish. But it's not easy for the majority of people, and that's because it's not who they are. They like to think it is who they are. They do something healthy for 6 months, and they think, this is who I am, but it's not really who they are. This is who they think they are, but because of the mind, it's not allowing them to be that individual. So this is part of that. It's part of the asking the right questions.
Yeah. To me, mindset really matters, and it matters in a huge way when it comes to being healthy. Now, do you, and I'm talking to everyone here, do you have any healthy eating goals? I want people to think about that, and it's going to vary from person to person, but it's very important that you do have healthy eating goals. All right. It could be a very small thing to eliminate, let's say, dairy, gluten, sugar, could be anything, but you're not going to do it overnight. Okay. And I'm going to talk about that in a little while, but now, are you going to completely change how successful you are at sticking to your targets, or do you just need to tweak a few things? Or do you need to change everything? They're the things you need to think about, because we're all at different stages of our health. So I think ours is pretty good, wouldn't you say, Warren? It should be, really, shouldn't it, if we're on here?
Well, yeah. If we're professing in that, then yes, it should be healthy. It should be good.
Yeah, well, look at me. I'm 80. I look pretty healthy, don't I? So,
Yeah, I'm not far behind, 75, and I'm still feeling good. But look, you say we should be healthy and things like that, and I profess, I put my hand up, and sometimes, and I say, I don't eat probably I don't eat as healthy as I could eat. Now, I don't want to say should, because then should it denotes like it's pressure, but I could eat healthier, but I don't necessarily eat as healthy as I could, because my mindset is in a place where I know I'm healthy regardless. Okay, I'm on the right nutrition. I take the right nutrition. I eat, the majority of the foods that I eat are the right foods for me and my body, but I enjoy myself, and I don't let it get me down. I don't let it weigh me down, because my mindset is in the right place. I believe that I'm healthy, period. And this is a huge part of it, right? Is the belief factor. How much do we believe what it is that we're doing is the right thing for us? Or do we just...
Sorry.
No, carry on.
No,
What?
I was just going to say, I'm an Adonis in my own head. No, look, I'm sorry I cut you off there. I do apologise.
No, it's okay. That's fine.
I was making myself laugh inside so much, thinking.
We both do that. I do that. I do the same to you, because sometimes it's we only have so much time here, and we want to share some points that we feel is valuable and.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we want to make you laugh, and we want to enjoy it as well. So, the question was, not the question. The thing was, whatever it is you do from this point on, it's personal to you. All right? It really is. But the mindset is one of the biggest factors that you will have to overcome. If you were thinking about weight loss, what do you need to do? Because the challenge is that we look at all these fad diets and things like, let's try that and see if that works. You don't have to do that. You really don't. It's about, if you're eating quality, right? I wouldn't say eat quantity, but if you're eating quality, all right, that's half the battle.
Then quantity is not so much of a factor if you're eating quality.
No, that's right.
It is important, but it's not as much of a factor.
We depend. Yeah, the quantity does matter, but we're not saying large quantities. That's what I'm saying.
Or even minimal quantities. But if you're eating quality, at least your body is then getting the right nutrition, and that's going to help you. That's irrelevant. You may still be fat, but you're going to be healthy fat.
That's right.
Doesn't matter then, really. I mean, it does matter, but it's not as detrimental as if you're fat and you're not eating the right foods.
Yeah.
You're with me. So, and I use the word fat because that's what it is at the end of the day. When people say, I want to lose weight, no, you don't want to lose weight. You want to lose fat. Call it what it is. And that's a mindset thing. That's being honest with yourself and being accountable, saying, I have fat. I want to lose the fat, period. I don't want to lose weight, because losing weight, you're going to lose muscle, you're going to lose fat, you're going to lose all kinds of stuff. So call it what it is and go forward with that mindset, and you're already on a winning note. But
just remember that don't worry too much about a fat-free diet. Just make sure you're eating healthy fats, because you need fats.
Sure, exactly.
So
exactly.
Now, what you're doing right now, your eating habits or whatever, can either assist you or it can work against you. It can hurt you. So this is what you need to work out. Can your mindset impair or harm your health and wellness?
Sure.
Of course it can. Either way. Either way, it could be good for you. It can be bad for you. I mean, it's like, we all need to reshape something and alter our eating habits. For some people, it's going to be a lot. And some of us, we're tweaking all the time to just make it just a little bit better, But quick fixes, as I mentioned before, can work, but you have to be extremely careful with them.
And also, quick fixes are not really sustainable. I mean, it's in the term, quick fix. It's not a sustainable thing, really, is it? And if I've done that before in the past, where when I was a kid and I basically starved myself to the point where I lost enough fat where I was relatively happy, but that wasn't healthy for me at all. Okay. But I didn't know any different in those days. I just did it because I thought that was going to be the best thing for me, is to starve myself. And I didn't eat. I had one meal a day, and that was it, basically. And I was a kid, and you can imagine a kid that's growing up and that's starving themselves to that point. However, in saying that, when we are thinking about the mindset, okay, you're going to keep reverting back. Whether it's a quick fix or whether it's a long-term thing, you're going to keep reverting back to the point where your mind will start to take control. I've touched on this in the past, where your mind is only looking out for itself. It has no concern for your well-being other than its own well-being. So if your brain and your mind and your body is used to getting these fixes that you get from sugar and all kinds of other food types, okay, that give you that pleasurable feeling, that are not healthy for you, your brain is going to keep reverting back to type, because that's what it wants to keep experiencing. So your mind will then play tricks on you and say, nah, it's okay, have that, it's fine, don't worry about it. And you're going to feel less guilty about it in the moment. You're going to eat it, and afterwards you're going to go, why? Never again. It's like people that don't.
Oh, how many times I've said that? That's normally when I've had a drink, though.
Yeah, that's when people drink too much. They say, never again. But then the moment they have that first drink again, it's like the mind goes, ooh, you're back. Yes, please. And that's how it is. So you've got to condition the mind. Otherwise, you will just keep going back and back and back again, and it will never be a consistent thing. That will be the only consistency, is that you'll keep tripping over yourself.
Yeah, look, whenever you do, you got to have the mindset of an investigative mindset. Okay, so you're going to look into things. Yeah. Now, I'll give you a couple of things I've, just started to use, and that is chia seeds. Okay, and also walnuts. So I have walnuts for snacking.
Mm-hmm.
I do have protein bars and things like that, and energy bars and different, but they're all good quality ones. But I found really that I've looked at chia seeds before, and I can see how healthy they are. So I went, I'm going to implement them in my diet. So I put it in my porridge in the mornings. Okay. So I don't have any sugar. So it's just, but I do. This is something that a lot of people will go against, and that's I have full fat milk now.
Oh yeah.
All right, I've gone back, and the reason being is because I don't have enough. That I need that in my diet because I probably don't eat enough. Generally. So I'm going to see how that goes. And then I have the chia seeds with it, with the porridge as well, and blueberries. So that is a really, really healthy start to the day. It's also, long lasting as well. I can go a long time without eating again.
Look, in all of that, the irony is that the milk is the most unhealthiest part of their diet.
Yeah, absolutely. I know that. Yeah.
But again,
we know that.
Better full fat than all this diluted blur.
Mm-hmm. But as I say, it's I don't think dairy doesn't affect me at all, so I will continue using it. And that's again, you've got to find out what works for you. Some people, they can't take the lactose and all that. So
that's a different subject. Different.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying that's what you've got. What I'm saying is that's what you've got to sort out in your mind.
Identify
what works for you, what doesn't.
And this is another thing I was saying to my client this morning is each of us have a unique system and a unique body, and they respond differently to different things.
Yeah.
So if you can have the mindset to begin with of being flexible in what you're taking, with obviously the end goal in mind all the time is like, what is going to help me to lose this fat? What is going to help me to get healthier? What is going to help me to get slimmer? What is going to help me to get fitter? What is going to help me to get stronger? With that end goal in mind, whatever it is, as long as it's healthy, then just be able to be flexible in your approach to it. Don't be so rigid based on what one individual says or a group of individuals may say if they're telling the same narrative. Because just because it's one narrative and more than one person says it doesn't mean it's right for you. It's not. It doesn't mean you got to figure out for yourself what it is. And then the healthier you eat and consume liquids and stuff like that for the longer period of time, the easier it becomes for you to listen to what your body's telling you.
You're right. It will tell you. Your body does tell you when things aren't working out, especially with indigestion and digestion. So let's say you go on this brand new fad diet. Now, what normally happens, you've seen an advertisement or something similar, and they've got these dramatic promises, haven't they? Right. Let me shatter your illusions here. There are no promises. Okay. There is only what you're going to do to improve your diet. Okay. And it's going to be minimal. It's going to take time. These dramatic promises don't always work. All right.
Well, point in case, there's been a very prevalent promise that's been made on a global scale as of recent times. And people have jumped on that ship very quickly because of the promises that were made. And it's proving now that it doesn't work. The promises have not come true. So and I'm talking about, this is on a global scale, very recent. I'm sure everyone knows what I'm talking about. If you haven't, then climb out of your cave, find out what's actually going on. But that's point in case. Is promises are made, and if promises are made about something and it doesn't necessarily make sense to you, or it doesn't sit with you very comfortably, then go out and find out for yourself whether it is true or not, whether it's going to happen or not. Really just take some time and effort and do some investigating for yourself, do some research. It doesn't mean you have to sit for hours on end to figure out the truth, but do something for yourself, at least so that it makes sense and it seems logical to you.
Yeah. I had a customer say to me, I was recommending something to her, and she said, will it work for me? And I went, do you know what? I don't honestly know. But what if it did? Sometimes you have to try things, and it's not everything works for everyone.
No. And it's the same thing like people that want to go to university and study in their 50s and 60s and 70s. And they ask the question, sometimes you ask the question, well, what is it going to do for you when you finish get your degree? I don't know, but at least I'm not going to be in the same place I was before.
No, that's right.
Yeah. So why not?
Well, as you know, I'm studying nutrition.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I know exactly how it's going to help me. But But going back to the eating habits, the mindset on your eating habits, the question you need to ask yourself: is it sustainable for you? Is it going to be, moving forward? Is it going to make you healthier? In other words, all right? And you can only do that by trying, testing, experimenting, examining. If you're looking at nutrition labels on products and things like that. It's not just one thing; it's a whole thing, and that's where the mindset comes in. Is it going to work over the long term? I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. Am I going to enjoy the change? Again, until you do it, you won't know.
Yeah, and that's
obviously
very personal.
You have got to enjoy it. It's not. You don't want to go from enjoying rubbish to really hating good stuff.
Now, I've got a client that started working with me, and she's on our nutrition. I'm helping her to monitor and manage and control her eating, and she does training with me and coaching and stuff like that. But she doesn't like training. She doesn't like moving too much. She doesn't mind doing things, but she doesn't like training per se. So my goal is to get her to start enjoying training. Okay, and enjoying moving. So that's my objective in the beginning, is to most importantly to get her into that rhythm of actually getting used to training and then enjoying the process of training.
Yeah.
So, like we're still in our second month of working together, and the key here is that we get into the habit of doing it. So if you get into a habit of doing something that you think or perceive you're not going to enjoy, just create the habit. Once that habit's created, then make a decision for yourself whether you like that or not. But don't just assume that you're not going to like it because it's something different or healthy that other people you've turned to other people and they say, it's horrible, I didn't enjoy it. Don't make a judgment based on what some other person has experienced, because it's completely different to you. It's going to be completely different.
Yeah.
You may have a similar experience, but at least give it a go and try to create a habit from it first. Once you've done the habit part, then make a decision.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Think lifestyle change rather than diet. I don't like the word diet because it has more than one meaning.
Mm-hmm.
Diet for most people is losing weight. Diet for me is all the foods I eat. That's the difference, and it is a huge difference. We should have another goal here, and that is for long-term, higher quality overall health. Sounds a bit of a mouthful, but just means it's just being healthy. I think that we don't want temporary changes. We don't want, what we're looking for is long-term changes that you can do gradually. Okay. We don't want any more ineffective eating habits, because it's a waste of time, waste of money. You'll still be cheesed off. You won't enjoy it, and you'll end up going back to ground zero. Okay, which you will do a few times anyway. There's nothing you can do there. I just think it should be permanent great habits.
Yeah.
Right. There's some things you can do, and you've done it. You've cracked the code, as it were. Right. Then you don't have to go back, do you? Once it's done, it's done, and then you can just tweak it and introduce things that are a little bit healthy. Like yesterday, I went round our speaker on Monday, because that's when our next HealthyLife.tv is on Monday. Christina went around a apartment yesterday, and she gave me some organic coffee and made me. She said she was going to make an apple tart, apple something or other, and it turned out, and it was really healthy. She explained what was in it. Maybe I'll get her to tell you, but it was fantastic, And I'm just thinking, what I had there with the coffee and that, they were healthy
and tasty.
And tasty. Yeah, the coffee's coffee. No, I'm not a great coffee drinker, so coffee is, at the moment, coffee's coffee.
Okay.
But it was much healthier than I normally have. So
Andrea does that all the time. She'll make stuff that is like desserts and sweet stuff, and that's super healthy. She's made cakes in the past with 0 processed sugars, that kind of stuff, and flour, no flour. people think it's like, but it's actually really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Answer that phone.
No, that's the door. That's the door. That's not for me.
Just remember, if you don't enjoy the change, you won't stick with it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you've got to find things that you enjoy as well. So I think I mentioned that. So I think you should view your mindset when it comes to health like this: the tortoise and the hare. Now, in respect to some things, you don't really want to be the tortoise. You want to be the hare. But in this particular instance, tortoise wins. All right. Because what you want to do is change your habits for the better. Slow and steady will definitely win the day here, or win the race. You want to get it right. All right. And that's the big thing. You want to get it right. And I'd have to say a big fat yes to that. Maybe a total lifestyle change, but one small step for mankind. You know, baby steps. Baby steps is the way. You know,
you can't force habits. Habit needs to be created over time. Yeah, it's like, yeah. If you want to use the example of training, somebody doesn't train for 3, 5, 10, 15, 20 years. Then they go to the gym and they train every day for 2 weeks. And they're trying to force themselves to get into the habit of training. And then after 2 weeks, there's just like so much pain and agony.
Yeah.
They're physically and mentally so tired, and it's like, ugh. And then they can't do anymore. They give up. But if you go to the gym after 20 years for the first time, or go training for the first time after 20, and you start 2-3 days a week, just get into the process, get into that slow momentum. Then the habit will be created. So
right. I mean,
with food.
Just going back to training, because that obviously is the same mind. It's the same mindset. It takes time, and once it took me 2 years to train for the marathon. 2 years, right? It took me 6 months to train for a boxing match, twice. Right? It took me 5 months to train, and I was a runner. It took me 5 months to train for a particular event across country. So, don't think it's going to happen fast, because you might have the odd thing that will work over the short period of time. Okay. But it's going to take time switching things around.
Sure.
Right. But the one thing you mustn't do, and that is, like if you're a sugar eater one day, don't go cold turkey. You can ease it back and ease it down gradually, and I don't like the denying yourself anything.
Well, you use the term cold turkey, and I know that you use it as a jest as such, but sugar is more addictive than cocaine.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if somebody goes cold turkey on a cocaine addiction, they're going to suffer. They're going to struggle.
Yeah.
So just imagine what your body's going to do if you do that with sugar, and you are a sugar addict, or you love your sugar every day. Just ease off it. Allow the body to become, because otherwise the body goes into a state of shock. And then when the body goes into a state of shock, your resources are pooled. Okay,
yeah.
And you're not able to utilize all your resources in the body for the whole body. So then eventually something will break down. Something will give eventually. So rather just ease off it.
Yeah.
And just remember, sugar is more addictive than cocaine. So
it's not. Yeah. So it's not feast or famine. Okay.
No.
You don't have to be ruthless. You don't have to be draconian, and you don't have to. Denial and total shutout is not required. All right. So you can ease into things.
We're meant to enjoy things, right?
But what you have got to be is committed to the change. The overall mindset is being committed to the change. Let's start this transformation immediately with a little thing. Okay. There's no place for guilt, right? In this, it's not, you're going to make mistakes. You're going to go back to some things, but just keep plugging away. There's no room for chastising or anything like that. This is not, you're going to take incremental changes, and they will suffice as long as you're moving in the right direction. Moving in the right direction, being consistent, that is where the magic will happen. You won't even notice it's happening. And you'll get to a certain stage and you go, oh, wow.
Exactly. Yeah. And the same thing will happen with your body as well. Like the way you feel about stuff, you're going to notice, like, let's say you have a lower back problem, and every morning you wake up and you're like, oh, I struggle to get out of bed. And then you start to eat healthy, you start to eat clean, you start to move, you get your mobility back, all of these kind of things. 6 months down the line, you wake up one morning and you realize, hang on a second, it's been a while since I felt my back when I woke up in the morning. And that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty. That's when it's like, this is when the results are, this is when it's all worth it. You with me? So that's
no, we're not saying we're not saying that you can't get fast results. What we're saying is you should aim for fast results, because they're unlikely to come most of the time. Now, I had a client the other day who I recommended something to them for overall health, and they took this product, and within a week they were going berserk excitedly because their back pain had gone. It's just one of those added things, you know. It wasn't recommended for that purpose, but that's what the purpose was. So instead of thinking about what you can't eat, all right, putting crosses in pictures and things like that, what you can't eat, think about foods that you can eat, all right, and you substitute, in other words. So, you know, you get, instead of just getting rid of the bad, what you're thinking about is introducing the good. All right.
Yeah, so, that is so important, hey, Paul, because otherwise, if you're thinking about what you can't, and you have, like you say, you have these pictures with crosses on or marks through them, that you're focusing on the negative aspect. You're focusing on what you want to have, but you know you can't have. And this is why I say as well, it's not about can't or can. It's about, you should not have it. You shouldn't have something like that. Don't, because also when you say can't to yourself, it's a directive. It's like no, you can't do that. And then subconsciously your brain is going up, but I want to have that. Whereas if you say to yourself, look, I shouldn't be eating this right now, you're being more objective about it, and you're also giving yourself the ability, consciously and subconsciously, to make the right decision by saying I shouldn't have it.
I remember an advert years ago, probably could be 40 years ago even. It was R. White's lemonade, okay? And it had the bloke creeping down in the middle of the night going, I'm a secret lemonade drinker. Right? Seriously. And it's amazing. It's amazing how these adverts you remember forever. Smoking adverts that people remember forever. So these things stick. So you've got to be really, really careful. Now, I love R. White's lemonade. I really do. So I only have it very, very occasionally with a little bit of scotch. But
what's it called? R. White's lemonade.
R. White's. The letters are White's. So, and anyway, so we don't want overwhelm. You've got to shift your mindset one small piece at a time. Remember, it's still quite challenging to ditch the Doritos. All right. When you're watching that box set, you got the Doritos and you're sticking them in the old sauces. And I love Doritos, but I'll never eat them again. We don't want carrot and the stick. Right? It's not about reward and punishment.
No, it's not. Well, reward, yes. We are brought up on reward systems, right?
Yeah. But what I'm saying is, the reward punishment. It's like you don't want that. You have to reframe your own health, wellness, and nutrition. Mm-hmm. You have to completely reframe it. So we have to watch out about cheating. And I used to cheat and have the odd candy or sweet Mars bar or things like that. I've managed to eliminate it in the last 10 days.
Oh, really?
Finally.
Wow.
But what we should be looking for is nutrient-dense food.
Yes.
We don't want any processed crap, and all that. A lot of that chocolate and all that is all processed crap.
Sure.
Right. So now I look for 85% proof, 85%. Chocolate.
The cocoa chocolate.
Yeah, the real stuff. So
yeah. And the nice thing about that is you have one square of that, and your craving disappears.
Yeah. Well, I don't have to have it, but if I want a bit of chocolate, that's what I have. So think self-care first. All right, that's what you need to do. There are no overnight sensations here. All right, keep it real. Get rid of one bad habit at a time gradually. Don't try and force it all in one go. Focus on what you want to do, and that's the best way forward. So I don't know. You got anything else you want to say at all, young man?
No, I think we've covered all the bases here. Really, just remember that this is a potentially for you, if that's what you are here to watch and view and take in from Paul and I, is that this is a journey. This is it's an experience. Don't focus too much on the outcome and what the goal is, and then become disillusioned or blinded because that's your focus. Just focus on the journey itself. Obviously, it's important to have the outcome in mind at all times, but not at all times, but it's important to have the outcome in mind. But the journey is what's the most important factor, because the journey is what's going to get you to the outcome. So if you're enjoying the journey and you do have those cheat days or cheat meals from time to time, and you allow yourself the freedom to be able to enjoy life, because that's what we're here to do, is enjoy life, then great, do that. Then in the same breath, I also understand that this is mentally, it's probably the hardest thing, okay, is the mental aspect of it. The physical side of things is probably, it's simple. It's not that difficult. It's the mental part. This is where Paul and I can step in and assist you as well. It's overcoming that mental challenge that we all faced with. All of us have a mental challenge somewhere along that journey. So, Paul and I, if we step into the game with you, into that picture with you, and you allow one of us to be there with you, then for you, it's going to be much easier, or anybody for that matter, that can coach you through the process. Because it's not about chastising, it's not about making you feel bad or trying to pump you up all the time and make you feel like a special person. It's about holding the truth to your face and getting you to look at yourself in the mirror and be honest with yourself, and encouraging you along that way, getting you to see what that picture looks like much clearer for yourself, so the journey becomes more enjoyable.
Absolutely. So 6 quick things before we go. Simple change and how you think. So you've got to work on your mindset a little bit. Be open to new ideas. All right, that's another one. Investigate alternatives. Try and find them. All right. Slowly take your healthy eating habits to the next level. All right. Think long-term, high quality, overall health. And the last thing is, the tide will start to turn. Watch your monkey chatter, what you say to yourself, because this is the last thing that you need to think about, because that will destroy all the good work you do if you're not careful. And it's very easy to do that. So maybe you'll fall off the wagon on the way. All right, who knows? But it's okay. Brush yourself down. Start again.
Yes, it's never the end of the journey.
Yeah, that's right. So if you need help, give us a shout. We'll see you on this channel on Monday, not Wednesday, when we have Christina on. And that should be very interesting. So it should be a good interview. So we'll see you. Do
you want to divulge what it's going to be about?
No.
To the viewers?
Oh, okay.
Because it's a guest. So let them know what we're going to be talking about.
It's about raw food. Mm-hmm. It's about local food. Mm-hmm. And it's about seasonal food. Mm. Okay, so, and having sampled some of her food yesterday, it will be well worth it. Trust me on that one. So, okay, have a fantastic rest of the week, and we will speak to you soon.
Cheers, Adonis. Thanks for the talk.